Hey everybody, Erik Sidwell here. I'm one of the co-founders of CellSmart. We are your trusted source for all things cell phones. Buy, sell, repair, you name it, we can do it. We are launching episode 5 of CellSmart TV. This is kind of an exciting time for us. So we're really excited to have our guests here with us today. And hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos and getting value out of them. And getting the opportunity to see some of the cool entrepreneurs and business owners that we get a chance to associate with every day, and seeing some of the technology that they're using. Today I have a very close personal friend of ours, and quite frankly my inspiration for becoming an entrepreneur, Erik Laver, here with us. Erik, do us a favor and introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about you and what you do and what makes you the best.
Wow. Well, first off, my name's Erik Laver, and yeah, I am an entrepreneur, although I don't know that that's a great title. Whenever I think of entrepreneur, I think of guy on the side of the street broke, because a lot of times they struggle out there. It's tough, but I've been very fortunate. I've had a couple of big home runs, and I'm working on my third. So yeah, I've had quite a history of some big success in business, and out there still swinging.
Right on. So tell us a little bit about what it is you're working on now, and what is it you're doing?
I'm currently working in the credit repair industry. I'll tell you why I'm attracted to this industry. I believe as we become more and more of a cashless society, we're moving, 10 years ago you used your credit card once a week.
Right.
Now today you use it, 5 times or 6 times or 8 times a day.
Right.
So as we become more and more of a cashless society, and the subprime people out there, the subprime market is huge. Those people are going to exist in the future off of their FICO score. So I believe I'm a little early to the game. People are just now starting to realize there's a tipping point, obviously, in every industry.
Right.
And I believe that in the credit repair industry, we are right at a tipping point now, where credit repair is going to become an everyday term that everyone hears. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, every bank will offer it, every mortgage broker will have it, every realtor will have it, every financial planner will offer it. Where right now people don't understand it can be done. They think that they can repair their credit themselves.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, you can also build your own house. The reality of doing that is difficult. You leave it to the pros.
Right, exactly. Same thing with cell phone repair, right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah, people think they can watch a Google ad and they can switch their screen out because some guy did it on Google.
Right.
And then they buy multiple screens.
And then they end up back at my shop.
Right.
Well, that's really cool, and I definitely see a gigantic need for it. Just in the immediate presence of a lot of the folks that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Well, because they've got to have credit, obviously, to be on
to even buy phones nowadays.
Yep.
So it's pretty wild. So what is it that got you into that industry? Like what was it that attracted you that way, and what brought you into that realm?
I think the idea behind any entrepreneur is you're trying to get ahead of the market.
Right.
You're trying to see trends in the market and the direction that people are going. And that's what's got me into this, is I see that we're becoming a cashless society. I see that people are struggling for credit, and it's a giant monster that's starting to rear its very ugly head. I see people on a regular basis that are paying 25 and 30% interest for their car, which I find devastating.
Yeah, that's crippling.
Crippling. And most people don't understand what credit repair is, how inexpensive it is, and that we can get those negatives off their credit. We can give them a fresh start. They don't understand that just paying your bills does not repair your credit. Let me tell you this, buying a new car and making your payments on time does not help you. Those negatives are going to drag you down. We've got to get those negatives expunged off your credit.
Right.
So that's what I see happening. But the entrepreneur is, I see the opportunity.
Right.
I see an opportunity out there that just everyday people need, but they don't understand.
Right. An opportunity to serve.
Yep.
Right on. So tell me more about what it is you love most about what it is you're doing right now, and what you love most every day.
For me, and you know, you talk about business and you talk about being an entrepreneur, which, you know, the definition is risk taker. For me, all of my opportunity in life has happened. I don't come from money. My father was a fireman. My mother was a beautician. So we were very blue collar, middle of the rung family. My parents didn't have money to help me get started in business. So I started my first business because I had a $7,000 credit card. And with that credit card, I was able to build a $50 million a year organization that was generating $50 million a year in sales. I was able to keep one of those million for me every year.
That's awesome.
And build a great lifestyle for myself.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have done that without a credit card. That credit card gave me the ability to take advantage of an opportunity.
Right.
Same type of thing now. I saw an opportunity then, but to get in front of it, I needed some cash. And that credit card, you know, success in life happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Absolutely.
And that preparation for me is I had that credit card. I was able to leverage that credit card, start my own business, and that business grew into a $50 million a year business.
That's awesome. That's really incredible.
That was
See what I mean when I talk about this guy's my inspiration. This guy's amazing. He's done some really amazing things, and better yet, he's taken us under his wing and helped to teach us a thing or two about business. So for that, I appreciate you. I want you to know that. What do you find day to day most challenging about what it is that you do?
For me right now, I just turned 50. I'm 51, so which was a big change in my life. You know, I jokingly say all the time, I don't have the chip. So when you guys talk about technology and you talk about texting, I'm old school. I'm still struggling with emails. You know, I like mail and paper, and the technology for me is my biggest difficulty.
Really?
I think, you know, is hitting that I don't know what X generation or Generation X or whatever. You know, you guys with the chips that are doing everything on your cell phone all day long. As an old school businessman, you know, I call people, and you know, now I'm doing more texting, and I'm trying to stay with it.
Right. But
the entrepreneurs today are in their 20s and early 30s, and it's my difficulty is providing them the tools they need to do the technology on their cell phone.
Yeah. It's insane to think about how fast things advance. So.
You know, it's funny, I walk into your office today and look what I have in my hand. Paper.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I run.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys all look around and run off your cell phones. So my issue today is getting my thoughts, because it's not that it can't be done on a cell phone, it's getting my mental. That's my biggest issue, is that technology bump.
Yeah. So we were having this conversation earlier today, actually. We were talking about how, you know, a couple years back, we used to walk out to the mailbox and we'd look at all the things and we'd be like, and most of them would end up in the trash. We'd walk to the computer and we'd get an email and be like, hooray, we got an email, you know, and be excited. Now we get 50 emails every day or more in some cases, and most of those end up in the trash folder. But we walk out to the mailbox and we got a letter in the mail and we're like, hooray, we got a letter in the mail, right?
A shift, right?
Yeah, and so it's kind of interesting to see that. But and then another guy that I follow on social media used this quote, and he says, as we go and our society evolves to more Jetsons, he says the people who are built to last in this technological age that we live in through social media and being in people's attention, he said, are the folks who are more Flintstone. You know, and what I think what he meant by that, and the definition I think behind that, at least the way I interpret it, was staying in contact and building better relationships, deeper relationships with people, rather than having the widespread audience. Is that fair to say? Is it?
Yeah. You know, I definitely agree. You know, today, everyone, of course, texting is the newest and greatest thing, and I think they say that 99% of texts are read, and it's less than 2% of emails are actually read.
Right.
So I definitely think the ability to, you still have to connect.
Absolutely.
I think the bottom line and the core of anything is your ability to connect. And let's talk about what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I send you a text does not connect with you.
Right.
In order to connect with somebody, you have to add value to their life.
Mm-hmm.
They have to feel like a relationship with you makes them better.
Right.
I don't have time for people who don't make me better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're the same sense. We just don't have, there's not enough time in the world to spend with people who don't add value
Mm-hmm.
to my life.
Right.
And so if you're texting me, you better add value.
Yeah.
Not, hey man, what's up?
Right.
Don't care, don't have time.
Right.
You know, if you're texting me, you better have an appointment to set up with me to add value to my business or value to my marriage or value to my life.
Right.
So again, I don't think, when you talk about technology, to me it all comes down to a value add.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to text than it is to call someone. It's a lot
Right.
easier to text than it is to write an email, but at the end of the day, you've got to be a value add in my life.
Absolutely. That's the way relationships are built. There has to be value added on both sides,
Yep.
and there has to be a mutual benefit, and so that's a really, really strong point. So speaking of the technology that you use, you talk about texting and you talk about email and things like that. What other technology are you using day to day through your business that helps you increase that profitability and that flow and just the way things for you work on a day-to-day basis? So this can be anything from hardware to software, apps, phones, computers, you name it.
Probably the biggest, my two biggest apps that I'm hooked on right now is Hiya. I don't know if you've ever used Hiya.
I heard about that one the other day, but help our viewers kind of understand what it is.
I don't know how many sales phone calls you get a day, but I get about a dozen through my office,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not an exaggeration. I get about a dozen sales calls a day, so I use Hiya to sift through my spam calls.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free download. It's HIYA is the
Right.
app, and it automatically sifts through all my spam. So you don't know, a lot of times you don't know who it is. They're calling through
Right.
local numbers. But man, that has made my life super easy.
Yeah.
Just that simple app.
Just kind of helping filter out some of the
garbage.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, that's made my life easier.
It's insane. Even just at the shop that we run, like how many people are calling every day,
Yeah.
trying to get our attention to buy this, that,
Yeah,
or the third
exactly.
thing.
It's so distracting.
So you use Hiya, and that helps you filter out a lot of the
Garbage.
you said. What other? You mentioned one other one. So can you
I
tell me
use
more about
an
that?
app called Discord.
Mhm.
So this is my app that I deal with my millennials.
Okay.
Guys like you.
Right.
So I'm in the credit repair business. There's about 1 million questions I'm asked, and I have a lot of people who offer my product passively. Let's just say you need your credit repaired, but it's it's costing you some money every month.
Sure.
And you don't have that money. That's why you've got some credit issues, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Well, so I have a way that people can send me a referral for $50, and I pay them $50 for a referral. It's a finder's fee because you've probably got family members that have credit issues too.
Sure.
So it's a way that people can get their credit repaired for free. Send me a few referrals, pass along what's happening to you, share it on social media, and I pay $50 for every person who joins.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, because it's easy
Talk
to get.
about a value add, right?
Yeah, it's easy to get a couple of people to refer a couple of your friends, especially with Facebook today,
Yeah.
to my service. So Discord is a application where I actually got it from the gaming world, and a lot of my millennials are gamers.
Right.
So Discord they can jump into and I can answer questions. There's always somebody in there doing something. I've got a large group of people that are in there, and a guy can come in and say, now, how much is it to get involved? And what's the finder's fee? And what are the 3 bureaus? And so there's always somebody to answer their questions.
So it has kind of like a social element to it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly, but it's a closed book. So
Gotcha.
it's not open like on Facebook or something.
Right.
Like you can message me on Facebook, but I'm not going to answer it. In my application, there's I've got hundreds of people that are actually getting their credit repaired, and of course they don't want to pay for it.
Right. Yeah.
They want it for free.
Sure.
So they've always got 1 or 2 people that they're talking to, so they can jump in there and post a quick question, or they can even voice call me on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I don't have to release my number to everybody.
Right.
They can go to Discord, hit me, and chat with me live over the phone.
Oh, that's even better.
Hey, I'm here at work. I got this guy who wants the service. What do I do now?
Yeah.
And then we can plug him in, set him up. And it's a great way for millennials to make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a gamer app, they're all familiar with it.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine playing a video game online, and meanwhile I'm talking to 50 people online about the video game that I'm playing.
Yeah.
But that's what you guys do.
Well, I don't have that kind of attention span. I can't do that kind of things, but
that's
yeah, that's the generation that we live in, and attention is divided in all these different ways, and so if you're able to stay in front of it,
Yep.
And be in their attention, then you can add that value to their lives and help them with the things that they may need help with while still allowing them to function the way that they're familiar with.
So I've got guys that are not only getting their credit repaired, in some cases they're making a couple $100 extra a month just sending me referrals.
Wow, that sure doesn't suck.
Yeah. Yeah, free is always good, right?
Right.
So those are my two apps that I'm hooked on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that fact of working with you millennials, and
Right.
I hate. I mean, who answers those calls? I mean, who answers all the I love how you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna have to implement that one immediately. So jot that one down.
yeah, just love it. It works. It
yeah.
runs and works.
That's awesome. So can you tell about like a specific time where the use of this technology that you're using has helped to either improve a transaction or put you in front of a different scenario that may not have been there otherwise?
Well, again, I have tons of people who are getting their credit repaired, and nobody wants to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very, and I call them passive customers.
Right.
And like you would refer an ice cream shop,
Mm-hmm.
they want to refer somebody to get their credit repaired. So Discord just allows an environment for people to easily send me their friends and family. Where before it was like, call this guy.
Right.
And I'd call them back and they'd be like, I don't even know you and I don't want to discuss my credit issues with you. Who are you?
Right.
They don't know me. But they know you. And so if they're discussing their credit issues with you, it's very passive, very easy.
Kind of low key.
Yep. And they're fine signing up with you.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want to sign up with me because they're fine telling you about, dude, my car got repoed, but
Right.
they don't want to tell a complete stranger.
Well, and I think that it's a lot of that relationship element.
It's
right?
a trusted friend.
Yeah.
It's a trusted friend, and you're okay hearing that information, knowing you're going to make $50.
Right. Yeah.
$50 for a referral.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and tell them the same thing. Send over a few referrals, make $50 $50 a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I like it. It's a passive environment for people to introduce their friends.
Right. That makes sense. As you've gone on through the different businesses and things that you've done, just to kind of change key here for a minute, but everything that you've done through your career, talk about the way that technology has evolved through the different businesses that you've run and how it's either helped or just been a part of what you've been doing.
Oh. So I don't know. So in 2002, I started a company called Send Out Cards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
I'm
if
going to send out cards. Yeah.
smell for Send Out Cards. Yeah, we became the third largest greeting card company in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So here was our premise: is that you could go online, order a greeting card, we'd print it, stuff it, stamp it, and send it out for you.
Right.
For as little as 62 cents when we started, plus a postage,
Right.
plus a card. Well, if you imagine going out and buying a greeting card from the store,
Mm-hmm.
they're $3.50, $4. Plus, you still got to stick a stamp on it.
Yeah.
right?
Right. Postage on top. Yeah.
Yeah. So we started this product, and it was basically a digital print.
Mm-hmm.
And we could print cards 2 up, and at the time when we started in 2002, there wasn't even a flip and turn. We had to flip and turn our cards. So we'd print on this side, one side.
Oh yeah.
We'd flip it, and then we'd print on this side, on the other side. And when I started,
Yeah.
we started. It was like 49 cents a print, a color print.
Wow.
Our cost wholesale.
Right.
So again, going back to that technology, I saw that if we got in front of the cost of this, that eventually digital cards or color copies would be as inexpensive as black and whites.
Right.
Because I remember back in college, You know, when you would go to a black and white, they were a dime a piece or even a quarter a piece.
Right.
Now it got down to where there were fractions of a cent a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So when we started this business, it cost us more money to make a card than we were charging.
That can cause problems running a
It
business.
can cause a lot of problems running a business, yeah. But we had an interesting business model which allowed people to bank points with us to mail cards in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that prices were going to be driven down as we got faster. Well, anyway, from 2002 to 2007, the price of a color copy dropped to like 3.5 cents.
Wow.
And we could do 4 up.
Yeah.
As opposed to 2 up. And we could print on both sides and duplicate. And anyway, in 2007, 8, 9, in that time frame, we became the 3rd largest greeting card company in the world.
That's awesome.
And it became a very robust product.
Mm-hmm.
So there was Hallmark, American Greetings, and then us.
Mm-hmm.
But getting in front of that technology and having enough guts to go out there and sell a product you knew that in the future you'd be profitable on, but at the time we were losing,
right,
was a big gamble.
Yeah.
A big gamble that paid off highly. In 7, 8, 9, was paying off massively.
That's cool. That's really cool. And to hear that, like the way that change happened for you guys is really cool because
we went from printing cards like 1 every 40 seconds, and then we'd have to print the other side.
Yeah.
So that's a minute and a half, not counting the flip and turn time.
Right.
To where we were cranking out literally 100 cards a minute.
Wow.
Because we were printing them 4 up,
Yeah.
and they were duplexing, printing on both sides. Anyway, we went from a small machine half the size of this couch,
Mm-hmm.
to machines were 40 feet long, and
Wow.
crazy.
That's wild to think about. That's crazy. I look at some of the vendors that we've used, even for just things like flyers and stuff, and I look at the technology that they use and the way that that's changed. And I'm sure we'll eventually have some of them here on our videos too. But it's just fascinating to see things like that change. And
Well, you
evolve.
think just 10 years ago, everything was black and white. Today,
Yeah.
everything's color.
Right.
So you can see that today a color copy is as same. Well, it's not the same as a black and white, but it's fractions of a cent more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who would read something black and white? I see something black and white and I think, well, this is garbage.
Right.
Everything has to have color on it today to sell.
Yeah. It's just the way that it grabs the attention
Mm-hmm.
and connects people with your content, your material. So
Me and my partner got ahead of that, and again, that's an entrepreneurial thing.
Right.
Took a risk, and it paid out.
and it paid off. That's awesome. That's really awesome. How, in terms of, you talked about the apps and stuff that you've used and the different things that you do to stay connected with your audience and the folks that need your help. How, other than that, how has the technology that you use helped you to become better through the different ventures that you've been a part of?
I think the first question you have to ask yourself today is, are you a technology company? What type of business are you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a technology company? Are you a storefront? Are you, like I tell you, I'm in the credit repair business. At the end of the day, I'm in the technology business.
Mm-hmm.
When we were in the greeting card business, we'd say, are we in the marketing business? Are we in the greeting card business? Or are we in the training business? Or are we in the technology business?
Right.
And I strongly believed we were in technology, because without that technology, we couldn't create cards.
Well, I think from what you were saying before, it really was a different venue. Like you think about Blockbuster and Netflix. Your send-out cards was like
Blockbuster thought that they were a movie rental business.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix showed them that they were a technology business.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So I think you've got to, as you move forward, you've got to look at your business. You've got to decide what kind of a business you are.
Mm-hmm.
You may be a plumber,
Mm-hmm.
and you may think it's all about getting in people's houses and fixing their plumbing. At the end of the day, what's driving those customers to you?
Right.
Chances are you're in the technology business and you don't even know it.
Right.
Because without that marketing that you're doing and you're doing on the internet, driving customers to you, your van's going to be parked in your driveway.
Right.
So most people today have a real hard time defining what type of business they're in
Yeah.
and who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you may repair cell phones, but at the end of the day, what brought that customer to you? Is it an app? Is it what's driving your business? Where's your revenue coming from? That'll help you better define what your business model is.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things most people don't realize is technology bringing you your business or not? And if it's not, you probably need to look back and figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
Because everybody's buying their business today on technology. A keyword, Amazon.
Yeah. That's a prime example.
Amazon.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say. Everybody says, well, yeah, but she'll always need groceries. Right. Amazon.
Yeah.
At my home in Las Vegas, Amazon delivers groceries in 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, and what I heard is they're actually putting up now, like, stores where you can go in
Amazon.
and purchase those fresh things.
Amazon knew right away the whole world is going to be driven by technology.
They jumped on it.
So, yeah. So decide what your business is, decide where your customers are, what's driving people to you, and decide who you are. Because I'll bet whatever business you're in, but your technology first.
Yeah, there's definitely that element, especially in the day and age we live in.
I mean, that's like I say, the plumber's a perfect example. If most of your business is coming off the internet, you're in the technology business.
Yeah, you are. If there's anything, I guess, let me ask it this way. What, if anything, about the technology that you use would you change to help improve, again, the direction that your company is going now?
Ease of use, I think, is the thing. I mean, and this is the no matter, here's the problem.
Sure.
Amazon, we just talked about, multi-billion-dollar company. And I'm just a small company right now, as you're a small company.
Sure.
The problem is America expects you to look like Amazon.
Yep.
Your competition is Amazon.
Right.
And even though you might just be making doing $20,000 in revenue a month or $50,000 in revenue a month, problem is you're treated like Amazon. Amazon is always 2 clicks away from a purchase.
Right.
They already got all your information in. People don't even have to type their information in. That's one of the biggest problems. I don't even want to type my information in.
Right.
Why the heck doesn't your app have my info?
Right.
So it's always comes down to ease of purchase.
Simplicity, yep.
And if your product is difficult to purchase, you're dead. Because your competition is Amazon, and your customers expect you to perform like Amazon.
Right.
In fact, and charge and give free shipping like Amazon.
Yep.
And any entrepreneur out there who doesn't realize that the competition is Amazon is dead.
Yeah.
They are the competition. You've got to look like them. In fact, you don't have to look like them. You literally have to be them, even though you're on a $20,000 a month budget.
Right.
Because that's your total revenue you're bringing in. You've got to bill like them. You've got to pay like them. You've got to be simple.
Yeah.
So if you're not spending time in the technology world simplifying your business, again, I don't care if you're a plumber or not,
Yeah.
I want you to take my credit card, don't tell me you don't take American Express.
Right. Yeah.
I love
ran
these
into a
businesses.
We went up to Idaho Falls the other day, and we went to a restaurant to eat, and they're like, we don't take American Express.
I'm like,
what day and age do we live in where people don't take credit cards?
why would you ever open a business and say, I'm going to not do business with a third of the customers out there because I'm not going to take American Express because it costs me an extra half of a point.
Yeah.
It costs me an extra half a penny a dollar. It's moronic.
Yeah. It really was silly.
In fact, I'll tell you, I was at an AM/PM. I'll even say their name, AM/PM. You guys are morons. And I'm trying to buy gas, and guess what? They only take debit cards.
Oh man.
They're like, well, we've got a cash machine. I got in my car, drove across the street, and went over to a Chevron and plugged in my credit card. Because they only take debit cards.
That's
and they're like,
silly,
we're trying to get the product to you as cheap as we can. Again, what company would ever open up a business and say, I'm going to exclude myself from anyone who wants to use a credit card?
Yeah.
I'm only going to take cash or debit.
Yeah.
I don't even have an
Just
answer for
scratching
that.
your head, like,
Yeah,
what?
I'll take 5 chickens if you want to deliver them to my house.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm a businessman. I'll take payment in any way I can.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because it's simple. It's
It's simple. Yeah. I'll take Discover. Not a fan of them. I don't care. I'll take every credit card there is out there.
Yeah.
If the government would allow me to take food stamps, I'd trade in food stamps.
Food stamps for credit repair.
Yeah,
There's an idea.
I mean, that's the thing. Is why would you exclude yourself from any form of currency to do trade?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
It's interesting to see, and now being business owners like we've been for the last.
Did you walk out of the
year and a
restaurant?
half
Did you
now.
want to stand up and say, "Well, I can't pay for my meal.
Yeah.
All I have is an American Express."
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't watch your girl.
Yeah.
And just look at him.
You know, next
I'm
time
sorry.
I'll have to.
All I have is an American Express. What do we do now?
Yeah. That's my next step. I didn't think of that, but that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. I just
try to-
assumed everybody was in the 21st century.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Whoops. My bad.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. So, as we've gone through this, it's been absolutely fantastic getting to learn more about your business and how technology's helped and been a part of that. But now I have to ask the really hard-hitting journalistic question. Are you ready for it?
Yep, sure.
Are you Windows, iOS, or Android, and why?
I think you've got to be everything. I think I'll be honest, QuickBooks for Mac stinks. So if you're running QuickBooks in your business, you've got to be on an IBM. I was on an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
I got disgusted with the fact that I couldn't only share certain things with other iPhone users. And so I'm currently on a Google phone.
Okay.
Because I learned that Siri knows nothing, in my opinion. If I was dating Siri, I would dump her. I did dump her. But Google knows everything.
Right.
Google knows everything.
They're really tapped into
They
everything.
know everything.
Yeah.
In fact, they can distinguish my wife's voice from my voice.
Interesting.
Yeah. When she says, "Okay, Google," my phone doesn't go into the loop. Hers does. I mean, so I went with the Google phone. I think you've got to be, I have a Mac because when I want to, and I have an iPad, when I want to surf the net, I don't want to do it on IBM. It's too difficult. I have too many pops-ups. I don't want to open my email on my IBM because I don't know what I'm going to download.
Right.
So to tell you the truth, I think you've got to use everything. If I'm taking pictures, I want to be on my iPad. You know,
Absolutely.
if I'm on Facebook, I want to be on my iPad. But if I'm looking for directions to your office today, I use my Google phone because Google knows everything.
Right.
And I'm sorry, Siri, you lose.
So we've done a few of these now, and we've got some really fascinating responses. But I think that one is probably the one that has hit home the most because we do use a lot. We use Windows in the office, and we use I use an iPhone, and I loved my iPhone, but
you can't share your contacts on your iPhone with anybody who doesn't have an iPhone.
true. My wife is a big time Samsung user, and she loves the Android platform. There's just so many different. I think there's pros and cons to every platform that you use, and in order to have the best, I think you really nailed it. Is you have to be able to use everything. You have to be pretty well versed in everything.
I have a real good friend who has a lot of cars. I mean, a lot of cars. And I said to him one day, "So what is the best car?" And his answer is, he said to me, looked at me and goes, "What are we doing?" And I said, "Well, because if you're going out to dinner, you want to go in this car. If you're driving across the country, you want to go in that car."
Right.
It's the same thing with the technology. What are you doing?
What are you doing with it? Yep. Again, I have to thank you, and I really appreciate you coming out and spending time with us and sharing more about what you do and the technology and stuff that you do. So again, thank you for being a part of this. Do us a favor and tell us how our viewers and our audience can get a hold of you if they need your help or your services.
Okay. I do credit repair. So if you need credit repair, I can help you. I work on a wholesale basis, so I work very rarely with individuals. Most of my work is I work with accountants, I work with mortgage brokers, realtors. So I very rarely do I work with individuals. But if you contact me, you'll get my wholesale pricing because most of my people mark my product up.
Yeah.
So if you want my wholesale pricing, you can reach me.
That's awesome.
You can call me at 801, the number 4, the fix, THEFIX.
Okay.
That's how they can reach me, is 801 for the fix is the easiest way. That goes to my office. Give me a call, 801 for the fix. We're right here in Salt Lake, although I do business on a national level. So we do business all across the country, and we will help you change your life.
Awesome.
Because remember, success happens when preparation meets opportunity. You might run into that killer business, but if you're starting a new business, as you know, what's everything? Credit.
Credit, yep. Absolutely.
And so
you gotta have it.
You gotta have it, or you can't even get started.
Right.
So before you find that great deal, you need to scrub your credit. Give me a call.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. If you guys need to get a hold of Erik, give his phone a call. Excuse me.
Oh, you can also look me up online, www.8014thefix too.
Okay.
All of it works.
801-4thefix is it.com?
.com.
Okay. 801-4thefix.com, or just call 801-4thefix and you'll be able to reach Erik. Thank you guys again for tuning in and being a part of this week. We're so glad to have you, so glad of your engagement. Do us a favor, hit like, comment below the value you got out of this. If you have any questions, we'd love to hear them. And do us a favor and hit the share button. Let everybody know about what it is that Erik does. So thank you guys again for being a part of this, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you.